What if the people closest to you are the very reason you're not becoming who you're meant to be? And what if Stoicism says you must walk away, even from family, to protect your soul? Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly when it's time to cut ties, without guilt. There's a lie we're taught from childhood. Family is everything. Friends are forever. Blood is thicker than water. But here's the truth Stoicism forces us to face. Not everyone deserves access to your life. Even if they share your blood. Even if you grew up together. Even if you once loved them deeply. Today we're going deep into the Stoic perspective, drawing from thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, to uncover the silent signs it's time to distance yourself. The emotional traps that keep you stuck. Why loyalty without virtue is self-destruction. And how to walk away with strength, not bitterness. This won't be soft advice. This is clarity. Stoicism doesn't worship relationships, it worships virtue. The Stoics were clear. Your highest duty is not to comfort others. It is not to maintain appearances. It is not to keep everyone happy. Your highest duty is to live according to virtue. Wisdom. Justice. Courage. Self-control. If a relationship consistently pulls you away from those 4 pillars, you are not obligated to preserve it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that we are harmed not by events, but by our judgments. But here's the twist most people miss. If someone repeatedly disrupts your peace, manipulates your emotions, or sabotages your growth, staying is also a judgment. You are judging that their comfort matters more than your character. That is not Stoic strength. That is fear disguised as loyalty. Sign number 1, they constantly disrespect your boundaries. Let's get practical. Here's the first sign. You set a boundary. They ignore it. Mock it. Push against it. Punish you for it. A Stoic understands something crucial. Boundaries are not aggression. They are clarity. Epictetus said, "No one can harm you without your permission." But permission often looks like tolerating behavior that violates your standards. If someone repeatedly disrespects your time, dismisses your goals, invades your privacy, manipulates your emotions, and when you speak up, they flip it on you, that is not love. That is control. And Stoicism does not ask you to endure avoidable injustice. Justice is one of the core virtues. Allowing repeated disrespect is not noble. It is self-betrayal. Imagine this. You decide to level up your life. You wake up early. You start reading. You build discipline. You stop gossiping. Suddenly, your circle changes. Not because you left them, but because your growth exposes their stagnation. They start joking. "Oh, you think you're better now? Who do you think you are? You've changed." Yes. You have. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Some relationships only work when you are small. The moment you grow, they feel threatened. Marcus Aurelius warned himself constantly. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. But tolerant does not mean submissive. Sign number 2, they drain your energy every time. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. Not during. After. Are you calm? Or exhausted? Are you inspired? Or tense? The Stoics believed your inner peace is sacred territory. If someone repeatedly brings drama, chaos, gossip, negativity, emotional volatility, they are disrupting your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius described the mind as a fortress. Why would you knowingly leave the gates open? You are not required to attend every emotional fire someone sets. Sign number 3, they punish your success. This one is subtle and dangerous. You succeed, and they go quiet. You improve, and they become distant. You win, and they change the subject. There's no celebration. Only discomfort. Seneca warned that envy often hides behind familiarity. The Stoic question becomes: can you flourish around them? If your environment subtly pressures you to stay average, distance is not betrayal. It is strategy. But what about family? This is the heavy part. Stoicism does value duty. Yes, family matters. But here's the key distinction. You owe respect. You do not owe access. If a family member abuses you emotionally, undermines your dignity, refuses accountability, constantly disrespects your values, you are not commanded to endure suffering to prove loyalty. Epictetus himself was once enslaved. He did not romanticize abuse. Virtue never requires you to stay in harm's way. You can honor someone's role in your life without allowing them to control your present. Distance can be done calmly. Without drama, without revenge. Without announcement. Sometimes the most stoic move is silent withdrawal. The guilt trap. Let's talk about guilt. This is what keeps most people stuck. You think, what if they need me? What if I'm being selfish? What if I regret it? Here's the Stoic frame. Are you acting from virtue, or from fear? If fear of disapproval is the reason you stay, you are living under external control. Stoicism teaches radical responsibility. You are responsible for your character, not for managing everyone's emotions. If distancing yourself is done calmly, clearly, without malice, with self-respect, then it is not cruelty. It is maturity. How to cut ties the Stoic way. Not dramatic. Not explosive. Not emotional. Here's the method. Stop over-explaining. Reduce access gradually. Strengthen your daily discipline. Replace chaos with purpose. Let actions speak. You don't need a speech. You need alignment. Remember. You are not cutting people off to hurt them. You are stepping back to protect your inner peace. Big difference. Let me leave you with this. A Stoic does not cling. A Stoic does not beg for understanding. A Stoic does not shrink to maintain connection. If someone consistently disrespects you, drains you, resents your growth, violates your peace, and refuses correction, it may be time. Not in anger. In clarity. Because your life is not a waiting room for other people's dysfunction. If this resonated with you, comment below. I choose virtue over attachment. And if you're serious about building unshakable inner strength, subscribe to the Silent Empire. Because here, we don't just consume philosophy. We live it. And sometimes, living it means walking alone.